What's up, everybody? Andrew here with the Medellin Living Real Estate channel. Today we are walking through the neighborhood of El Tesoro, starting over here at the Amsterdam Plaza, going towards El Tesoro Mall. And in this video we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in this neighborhood. And let's start with the first one, which could be a pro for most people, but it might be a con for some, which is that this is a Estrato 6 neighborhood. In Colombia, neighborhoods are classified by their income level. 1 and 2 is the lower income level. 2 to 3 is middle class or middle income level. And 5 and 6 is upper income level. So this is obviously the highest, which is a 6, which means that you're probably paying more for utilities. There's more of a focus on luxury, manicured landscape. The streets are really nice. Obviously more police, more lights, more cameras around as well. Another thing to note that this neighborhood is about 1,700 meters above sea level, which is over 5,000 feet. So it's pretty high up here. It's on a mountainside. So that brings me to another pro, which is that you get all of this beautiful greenery. I'm walking along this road, which is a big road called Transversal. When I say big, it's just because it connects various neighborhoods within El Poblado, which is another thing to talk about, that El Poblado is the bigger neighborhood. It has 22 sub-neighborhoods, and El Tesoro is just one of the 22, but it is one of the most sought after in the entire city. If you're a Colombian living here, if you're a local, you aspire to make enough money one day to be able to live in one of these apartments in this neighborhood. The next pro is that pretty much in any building that you're at, you're going to get amazing views since we are on the mountainside here. As you can see over here, there are buildings back there, and as we continue to walk this way, we'll see some more buildings, but most of them will have really nice views and a lot of greenery. You can't escape the beauty, the nature here in this neighborhood, and pretty much everywhere in Medellin, but here particularly because we are in a secluded area, a more private area, I should say, more sought after because of its natural beauty, and of course because it's a higher income level. Another pro is that if you like that high-end, high-income living, the luxury living, you can find a lot of apartments and buildings that cater to that. Buildings that have, most of them will have 24-hour security, amenities like rooftop pools or just a pool on the ground level, gym, sauna, Turkish bath, and it just overall feels like a higher quality of life. Because it is more expensive. Another big pro for a lot of people is that it is near some of the most beautiful malls or shopping areas in the city, starting with the one that I just walked from, which is called Amsterdam Plaza, and also El Tesoro Mall, which I'm about to get to here once I cross the road over here. And even though this is in the hills, this area right here is flat enough for me to walk. I'm not losing my breath because it's not inclined. It's not a hilly part. It's kind of like a flat area that goes across the mountain instead of up and down from it, which is great. I mean, me and my family, we usually come to El Tesoro Mall to go to the movies. We take the baby because they've got like a little theme park in there. It's like a tiny theme park, but they've got kids stuff. It's very family friendly. This is a very residential area, so this is more for people that want to move down here for lifestyle. Great cafes, great restaurants as well. El Tesoro is that neighborhood. Now let's talk about the cons. The first con, and it's evident, is the fact that it is up in the hills. So if you're walking on this road, which is going across the mountain, you're not going up and down, which is great. But if you want to get down to, like, for example, Provenza or anywhere else in the city, you're going to have to go down the hill, and then to get back up, you're going to have to walk up, and most people will not be doing that. So if you do live down here, you'll be taking Ubers or taxis on apps most of the time if you don't have a car or a motorcycle or one of those, stand-up scooters, which is a good idea as well. The fact of the matter is that it is a hilly area, so if you do like to walk everywhere, that could be a con. The next con is what we're looking at and what you've been seeing here as I've been walking, is the fact that there's always traffic here. Right now, middle of the day, this is basically December 37th, they call it in Colombia, where it's an extended part of December because we're still not completely back, and there's still a lot of traffic because these streets, even though that was a main road, La Transversal, that I was walking on, it only has 2 lanes. So peak hour is even worse. It's crazy trying to get up and down into El Tesoro at peak hours, or sometimes any time of the day, could be difficult because of the traffic. Another con that I particularly didn't like myself when I lived near here was the fact that public transportation doesn't run through here. There's no metro access in El Tesoro because, again, most of the Colombians and locals that live here are people that make a lot of money, and they all have 1 to 2 cars and a motorcycle, so they get around that way. They don't need public transportation. There are buses that come through here, but it's not the same as living in other lower income neighborhoods near the metro station or near main bus lines. So regardless, this is a beautiful neighborhood. As I'm approaching El Tesoro Mall here, and we'll walk in here for a second. This is a Tuesday in Medellin, and you could see the lineup of cars to get into the mall at 12 o'clock. This is one of the biggest pros, is the mall, this El Tesoro Mall. It's got over 400 shops, it's got restaurants, it's got cafes, it's got events. They even have a little theater in here where they do shows, which is awesome. And of course, they've got the movie theater as well, which is my favorite movie theater to come to because they've got a premier movie theater where they have recliner seats. The waiters come to your seat and deliver you the food. It's awesome. And as you can see, we still have the Christmas lights up here, and people are here. People are shopping, people are hanging out. Now let's talk about something that's super important, which is price of property out here. So in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link to all of our listings in El Tesoro so you can browse them. But one thing to note is that the cost per square meter is the way that we usually gauge if a property is fairly priced. So if it's an old building, an old apartment that hasn't been renovated, in an area like El Tesoro, you're talking about 10 million per square meter. If you divide by 4, that'll give you the price in dollars. Pues, how you doing? Good? Good, thank you. So as far as price per square meter for something, that would be something cheap. If you could get it under 10 million per square meter in El Tesoro, you've got a pretty darn good deal. Now, if it's something newer or brand new construction, you're talking about 14 million plus per square meter. A brand new apartment that's maybe a 2-bedroom, depending on how many square meters it is, around $300,000 in a neighborhood like this, if not more sometimes, depending on, the size, if it's like the penthouse unit or whatever. And if it's an older apartment in an older building that has been renovated, the price per square meter will go up because it's nicer, it's newer, right? So the fact of the matter is that in El Tesoro neighborhood, you're going to be paying higher prices than in the lower income neighborhoods like Laureles, even lower income neighborhoods or sub-neighborhoods in El Poblado that are less sought after. As far as HOA fees, they're going to be higher as well because, again, the buildings are nicer, they're secure, and they've got amenities. Property taxes stay the same. The Estrato doesn't mess with that. So, and property taxes in Colombia are usually very low, almost negligible per year. So if you are looking for a lifestyle upgrade and move to Medellin, Colombia, into a neighborhood like El Tesoro, there's also a link in the description below to fill out our form. Somebody on the team will get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll hit you up on WhatsApp and get to work. Let me know what you guys think of this neighborhood. Have you been here before? I'll see you guys in the next one.